where we find ourselves, it's an anthology of writing from UK-based writers of the global majority. There are about 40 people in it. And because we got some money from the Arts Council, we did an audio book. And at the point that I was listening to the audio book, I discovered you can't trust them. When they've done the edit, sometimes they make boo-boos, so you have to listen. It takes forever. And I was listening to Ria's poem in one room, and Alex, who's at the back, was reading it in another. And we were both crying. And so when she said, yes, you've got something that I'm out to give, let me see it. So she's going to read that poem now.
I'm going to read that one. So yeah, this is the final poem. It's called Departure Lounge. It was written in memory of the elders in my community who lost their lives to coronavirus in London's care homes. In those days, your loved ones could see you off from the runways. You see them shrinking fast, holding on to promises suddenly indistinguishable, to call, to write, to send money. Holding on to the land you call home while you rattle through the air in a tin plane, hollow as the cola cans boys kick down the dirt tracks, sweat gleaming on the black muscle of their backs. No welcome party at Heathrow, only long looks at your tea-stained skin, arm hairs raised, 9 yards not enough to keep your body from shaking. Holding on to a suitcase of wool and murtis, incense and coconut shell, red tilak to anoint your new home. Outside, the air is cold and dry, and you think to yourself, how can this be the same star-studded night that blinds the Serengeti? Through the 70s, planes flock from Burundi and the Masai Mara, migrating bloodlines of Saurashtra reconvene in London, depart bilingual with clammy palms and first flyer nerves, arrive tongue-tied, mouths filled with broken glass, shards of English. No welcome party at Heathrow, but you feed them rotli shark, let them stay 2 by 2 in your one bed on Greenford High Road, sprawled on plastic sofas, battling the heavy-headedness that comes only from taking leaps so big they cross oceans. You will share a home with them again in your 80s, and in that home where they serve rotli shark, open the morning with incense and bhajan. A generation is fed and washed by the same hands. A chorus of stories tells a history of the gold they buried in ginger. Ruthless dictators, fickle empire, first flyer nerves, brown woolen jumpers of immigrant Britain. In days, 8 decades are quietly erased, breathless voices grieving for those days when your loved ones could see you off from the runways.